Into the action here in round 2. On the right, we've got Alec Myers. He had a bye tonight. Of course, this is the January FNM Championships for Lost Legion. So the 4 winners throughout the month picked up byes for round 1. So Alec in his first match of the night, shocking himself to cast an Elvish Mystic and then a Sylvan Caryatid. And then Vince Smith on his Boros Burn deck is going to go ahead and use a Magma Jet to try and shut Alec off of mana, seeing that he kept a 1-lander. By taking out the Mystic. Alec on the Colossal Gruul deck that we've seen him pilot for months now, using a variety of Mana Dorks, Domries, and Xenagos to power out, as well as Nykthos to power out some pretty explosive late-game draws with Pelucranos and Arbor Colossus. Then Vince playing a homebrew Boros Burn deck. It is basically a mono-red deck with just enough white sources to consistently cast both Boros Charm and Chain to the Rocks. We see his hand of Charm, Lightning Strike, Charm, another Chandra's Phoenix. And then Alec making some progress here, even with the 1 land. Did you get a buy or something? Okay. No, that's fine. I just can't start to talk with the door open. It's no problem. This will probably be back for midnight. Okay. Alright, so joining the game back, we've got Alec losing his Scavenging Ooze, which is pretty important to get off the board for Vince, especially in a situation where Alec doesn't have the mana open to activate it. He does land a Xenagos here. And there's a Boros Charm, putting Alec down to 10. That was interesting. Did we Boros Charm? I don't really know what happened there. Did we Boros Charm giving the thing double strike? That doesn't seem correct, right? So there's the trouble half of Toil and Trouble. For those of you familiar, it's basically a sudden impact or Stormseeker effect, dealing Alec damage equal to the number of cards in his hand. There's a Nykthos. So Alec will have the mana he needs. The question is, can he gain enough life to get out of this dangerous situation here at just 4 life, dead to exactly a Boros Charm? There is a Garruk. There's an Arbor Colossus. 4 more mana for a Pelucranos, so the game's all here. What's on the top of... There's a Boros Charm, as expected. So, Alec stumbling on mana, Vince correctly keeping him off mana. So Alec on the play here, down a game, having succumbed to some mana stumbles against the Boros Burn deck of Vince Smith. Tough to live your life off of mana dorks when your opponent's deck has 16 burn spells in it. So Alec with a very interesting draw here. No mana dorks, hasn't played a land, or hasn't played a non-land card in his first 3 turns, which usually indicates that he has a hand full of 4 drops. And there is a Pelucranos, which is going to be almost impossible for Vince to get rid of. Of course, I say that, and then I also see the Mizzium Mortars in his hand. So Mortar's going to have to take out the Pelucranos here. Can't really think of what would be a better play at this point. I think we just take care of the Pelucranos and go from there. No, so before he kills, he's going to act of treason. Get in for 5 there and drop Alec down to 12. So the sideboard card coming in from Vince, using Alec's big fatties against him. But this does mean that Vince is going to take some damage here. I keep talking about him killing it with mortars as if it actually kills the Pelucranos. I keep forgetting it's a 5/5, so that's my fault there. Alec plays his 4th land and then just loads up on Caryatid and Elvish Mystic, and a shock pointed at Alec puts him down to 10 here, so we know there's a Boros Charm in Vince's hand. There's another shock and an Anger of the Gods. So we can Anger here and then finish up the Pelucranos. So setting Alec back considerably here and leaving a Skullcrack and a Mortis along with another Temple, and Alec just simply replays Pelucranos. So it's going to be difficult for Vince to deal with the second one, as he had to basically use 2 cards on the first one. So can Vince find enough burn to close this game out? There is a Peak Eruption, so destroy the Stomping Ground. Alec want to go down to 7. We know with the Skullcrack in Vince's hand, Alec's life total is effectively 4 here. So Alec looking to close this game out before Vince can top deck him. So Temple of Abandon, leaving it on top, serving in with Pelucranos. I had already marked Vince down to 10 and just passes back, so we're dead to a Boros Charm here, and I think that's exactly what he drew. And that's going to be enough. So a relatively poor match. Vince is going to catch a lot of people off guard tonight, because there's a lot of people playing in this tournament who do not have a good matchup against this Boros Burn deck. Very creature light. Just to close